shift, looking out over the landscape of 2026. This isn't just another calendar year flipping over. It represents a fundamental change in how energy operates in your life. Most people walk into January carrying the heavy luggage of the previous year, dragging old disappointments and worn-out hopes into a fresh space. They think that simply wanting things to be different is enough. But you are here because you sense that wanting is a trap. The universe does not respond to need. It responds to who you are being. Right now there is a specific frequency available only during these first few weeks, a window of opportunity that closes if you do not act with precision. What I am about to share with you is not about making a list of resolutions that you will abandon by February. It is about a structural change in your reality. We are talking about the quantum nature of abundance. In the quantum field, possibilities exist as waves. They only become particles, solid, touchable reality, when they are observed with a specific kind of intention. Up until now, you may have been observing your lack, your bills, your loneliness, or your confusion. By focusing on those things, you have been inadvertently freezing them into place, making them your solid reality for another year. This cycle ends today. The reason you have struggled to break through the ceiling of your finances or your happiness is not because you aren't working hard enough. It is likely that you are working too hard in the wrong dimension. You are trying to move physical objects with physical effort, ignoring the fact that the blueprint for those objects is written in energy first. If the blueprint says scarcity, no amount of physical labor will build a palace of wealth. You must change the blueprint. This is where the concept of the quantum ritual comes into play. It is not magic in the fairy tale sense. It is the mechanics of creation. You might have felt a strange pressure lately, a feeling that something is about to break. That is not a bad sign. That tension you feel is the old shell of your life cracking so that the new version can emerge. But for the new version to breathe, you must stop feeding the old one. We often hold on to our struggles because they are familiar. We know who we are when we are worrying about money. It's an identity. Who would you be without that worry? That question scares the ego, but it liberates the spirit. To access the abundance waiting for you in 2026, you must understand that time is not linear in the way you have been taught. The future you want, the wealthy, healthy, peaceful you, already exists right now in the quantum field. It is happening simultaneously with your current reality. The only difference between you sitting here reading this and that version of you living that dream life is the frequency you are broadcasting. You are like a radio tuned to 98.5 FM, trying to hear a song playing on 104.7 FM. The song is there, the signal is strong. You just aren't tuned in. This ritual is your tuning dial. Before we go any deeper into this message and before I hand you the keys to this frequency, I need you to anchor this energy right now. This is your first act of alignment. Go to the comments and write this mantra. I am the signal of abundance. This simple act signals to the universe that you are listening and ready to receive. Now moving forward with the message. Let's talk about the observer effect. In physics, we know that the mere act of observing a particle changes its behavior. When you look at your bank account with fear, you are observing lack. Your energy collapses the quantum wave into a particle of poverty. You literally create the emptiness you fear by staring at it with terror. To activate abundance in this first month, you have to learn how to observe what isn't there yet in the physical, but is fully formed in the energetic. This requires a level of mental discipline that most people never develop. They let their eyes dictate their truth. I see an empty wallet, so I am broke. That is the logic of the sleeper. The awakened creator says, I see an empty wallet, but I feel the rushing river of wealth approaching, so I am rich. This isn't delusion, it is pre-selection. You are selecting the timeline you wish to experience before it arrives. Think about the last time you really wanted something and you got it. Before it arrived, there was a moment where you just knew it was coming. You didn't hope, you didn't beg. You had a calm, silent certainty. That specific feeling is the magnetic charge. That is the feeling we need to harness for this ritual. It is a mixture of gratitude and expectation. Most people treat the universe like a vending machine that ate their dollar. They kick it, they yell at it, they beg for their snack. But the universe is more like a mirror. If you stand before a mirror and frown, you cannot force the reflection to smile. You must smile first. The abundance of 2026 is waiting for you to smile first, even while things look difficult. This brings us to the core of the problem you face right now. You are likely carrying a poverty virus in your subconscious. This virus tells you that resources are limited, that for you to win, someone else must lose, or that you are not worthy of ease. This virus is subtle. It hides in phrases like "I can't afford that" or "rich people are greedy." As long as this programming runs in the background, your quantum ritual will misfire. You cannot build a skyscraper on a foundation of quicksand. We need to clear the static before we can tune the radio. Imagine your mind is a garden. If you plant seeds of roses, wealth, in a bed full of weeds, doubt, the weeds will choke the roses every time. This first month of the year is the season for weeding. It is not glamorous work, but it is necessary. If you skip this step, if you rush to the asking part without doing the clearing part, you will only replicate 2025. And I know you do not want that. The energy of 2026 is fast. It is a year of speed. What you hold in your heart will materialize faster than ever before. This is great news if you are holding love and abundance, but it is a warning if you are holding fear. That is why this message found you now. It is not a coincidence. You are being prepared. There is a mechanism inside you, a literal biological switch, that connects your heart's electromagnetic field to the field of the planet. When these two fields synchronize, you become a magnet. But when you are stressed, anxious, or doubtful, that switch flips off. You become isolated. The struggle feels harder because you are trying to power your life with a battery instead of plugging into the grid. What I am going to reveal next involves a specific technique to flip that switch back on and keep it on. It involves using your body, your breath, and your focus in a way that bypasses your logical mind and speaks directly to the source code of your reality. It is simple, but it requires your full presence. But here is the catch. Knowing the technique is useless if you do not understand the timing. There are specific windows during the day when the veil between the physical and the quantum is thinnest. If you perform this ritual during those times, the effects are amplified 100-fold. Miss those windows and you are just talking to yourself. You are standing at the door, you have the key in your hand, but do you know which way to turn it? The difference between a locked door and an open one is often just a millimeter of movement. Energy moves across the globe like an invisible grid, linking us all in this very second. So drop your city in the comments right now to anchor your location in this web of light. That simple act of stating where you are is more than just typing a name. It is a declaration of presence. You are telling the universe, I am here and I am open. Now that we have established your location in the physical world, we must address your location in the mental world. You see, the universe does not give you what you want. It gives you what you are. And right now, many of you are broadcasting a signal of waiting. You are waiting for the money to come, waiting for the love to appear, waiting for the sign. But waiting is a frequency of lack. It implies that you do not have it yet. The secret to this first month of 2026 is to switch from waiting to having. This sounds contradictory. How can you have what is not yet in your hands? This is where the biology of belief comes in. Your brain does not know the difference between a real event and a vividly imagined one. When you watch a scary movie, your heart races, your palms sweat, and your cortisol spikes. The danger is not real, but your body reacts as if it is. We are going to use this biological loophole to hack your reality. You must trigger the chemical reaction of abundance in your body before the check arrives in the mail. If you can do this, the outer world has no choice but to align with your inner chemistry. It is a law as real as gravity. Now, before we continue this message, write in the comments 8 to claim this. This number symbolizes the infinite loop of abundance and structure. By writing it, you are stamping your intent into the digital ether. And listen closely. If this message has already sparked a light in your chest, if you feel a shift beginning, consider supporting this channel using the Super Thanks button below. It is a powerful way to cycle energy, giving to receive, and it helps us keep these transmissions coming to you and thousands of others who need this awakening. Let's dig deeper into the timing I mentioned earlier. There is a brainwave state known as theta. This is the state you are in right before you fall asleep and right as you wake up. In theta, the critical faculty of your mind, The guard at the gate who says, "That's impossible," or "You're too broke," is off duty. The door to the subconscious is wide open. Most people waste these precious windows. They scroll through their phones, filling their open subconscious with bad news, other people's drama and stress. They are literally programming their minds for anxiety before they even get out of bed. To activate the abundance of 2026, you must reclaim these two windows. The ritual requires that for the first 20 minutes of your day and the last 20 minutes of your night, you become the architect of your reality. In these moments, whatever you think and feel goes directly into the hard drive. If you worry about debt in the theta state, you are commanding the universe to bring you more debt. You are planting weeds in the fertile soil of your soul. We have to stop this immediately. But knowing when to do it is only half the battle. You must know how to generate the feeling. This is where most people fail. They sit there and repeat affirmations like a robot. I am rich, I am rich, I am rich. But inside they feel a knot in their stomach. They feel like a fraud. The universe does not listen to your words. It listens to that knot in your stomach. That knot is the vibration. If your words say wealth but your gut says fear, fear wins every single time. You cannot fool the field. So how do we dissolve the knot? We have to bypass the logic and use gratitude. Gratitude is the ultimate receiver. You cannot feel true gratitude unless you have already received something. Therefore, when you practice gratitude for the abundance before it arrives, you are tricking the universe into thinking it is already here. The field says, "Oh, they are grateful for the money must already be there." And then it rushes to rearrange circumstances to match that frequency. This brings us to a critical concept, the vacuum law of prosperity. Nature abhors a vacuum. If you want new clothes, you must give away the old ones. If you want new energy, you must release the old grudges. You cannot fill a cup that is already full of sour milk. This first month is your opportunity to create a vacuum. Look at your life. What is cluttering your space? Is it physical junk in your house? Is it toxic relationships? Is it old beliefs? You might be holding on to things just in case. I'll keep this broken chair just in case. I'll stay in this draining friendship just in case I get lonely. That just in case is a lack mentality. It tells the universe you expect things to go wrong. To trigger the quantum shift, you must demonstrate trust. You must clear the space. When you throw out the old, you signal that you trust the new to come. It is a bold move. It requires courage, but the angels favor the brave. There is a specific trap you need to watch out for as you begin this process. It is called the echo. When you shout into a canyon, it takes a moment for the sound to bounce back. Reality works the same way. You might change your vibration today, but your reality tomorrow might still look like yesterday. That is just the echo of your past vibrations playing out. Most people see the echo and give up. They say, "I did the ritual, but the bill still came." They don't realize that the current reality is just the residue of who they used to be. You must ignore the echo. You must persist in the new frequency, even when the physical world hasn't caught up yet. It will catch up. It has to. I want you to imagine a thermostat. If your financial thermostat is set to struggle, you will always cool down to that level, no matter how much money you make. You might win the lottery, but if your thermostat is set to poverty, you will lose it all. We see this happen all the time. This ritual is not about adding heat. It is about changing the setting on the thermostat. We are resetting your baseline to overflow. But there is a darker resistance we must discuss. Sometimes we self-sabotage because we are loyal to our family's suffering. If your parents struggled, if your ancestors suffered, you might feel a subconscious guilt about surpassing them. You might feel that by becoming wealthy and happy, you are leaving them behind. This is a heavy chain, but listen to me. You do not honor your ancestors by repeating their pain. You honor them by healing it. You are the one they have been waiting for. You are the cycle breaker. Your abundance heals your lineage. When you rise, you lift them with you energetically. As we move toward the next section, I need you to prepare yourself. We have discussed the timing, theta, the fuel, gratitude, and the clearance, the vacuum. But there is a specific, tangible action, a physical component to the ritual that serves as the trigger. Without this physical anchor, the energy remains floating in the mental realm. It needs a lightning rod to strike the ground. What I am about to reveal in the next block is the technique of the 3 anchors. It is a method used by mystics and high-level creators for centuries, though they often hid it in symbols and riddles. It involves 3 specific items you likely have in your home right now, but you have been using them essentially as dead weight. When you arrange them in a specific way, they act as a focal point for your intention. This is where things get very practical. No more theory. We are about to get our hands dirty with the clay of creation. However, to ensure your internal vibration is strong enough to hold this ritual, you may need a frequency boost. There is an innovative approach that blends ancient wisdom with modern science to support personal transformation. Through carefully designed sound frequencies, this specific audio activates the body's natural potential and enhances the attraction of prosperity. With just 10 minutes a day, it offers the possibility of opening new paths to success, abundance, and truly transformative experiences. If you want to accelerate your results alongside this ritual, I have linked this tool in the first pinned comment below. We are now moving from the realm of the mind into the realm of matter. This is where the intangible becomes tangible, where the invisible takes root in the visible world. You have cleared the mental weeds, you understand the power of the theta state, and you are ready to engage the physical gears of this machine. The technique of the 3 anchors is designed to bypass your doubting ego. Your ego can argue with a thought, but it has a much harder time arguing with a physical action. When you move your body and manipulate objects with intention, you are speaking the primitive language of the subconscious. You are acting out the reality you wish to see, and to your deeper mind, the action is the proof. Before we continue with this message, if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, take this moment to hit that subscribe button. This helps us continue creating meaningful content for you, ensuring these transmissions reach the people who need them most. Now, continuing with the message, the 3 anchors represent the 3 states of matter: solid, liquid, and plasma energy. To perform this, you do not need expensive crystals or rare herbs. You need simple items, but you must treat them with absolute reverence. The first anchor is water. Water is not just for hydration, it is a programmable liquid crystal. Experiments have shown that water holds memory. It changes its molecular structure based on the vibrations around it. For this ritual, you need a clear glass, not plastic, not metal, but glass. Transparency is key because you want nothing hiding the clarity of your intent. The second anchor is light, specifically a flame, a candle. It does not matter the color, though white or gold is often preferred for purity and wealth. Fire is unique among the elements because it consumes and transforms. It takes solid matter, wax, and turns it into heat and light. It is the alchemist of nature. When you light a candle with intention, you are signaling to the universe that you are ready to transmute your current leaden situation into gold. The flame acts as a beacon. It is a focal point that burns away distraction. The third anchor is the seed. This is a physical representation of the value you wish to grow. For this, I want you to use a physical piece of currency. It could be a bill or a coin, but it must be real money. Many people are afraid to use money in rituals because they think it is unspiritual. That is a trap. Money is simply frozen energy. By placing it on your altar, you are telling the universe that you are comfortable with this energy, that you welcome it, and that you do not fear it. You are grounding the high-flying concept of abundance into a tangible, spendable form. Here is how you arrange them. This setup creates a vortex of energy, a small localized field of high vibration within your home. You will do this tonight, or the very next time you have a quiet moment. Find a small table or a clean surface. Place the coin or bill in the center. Place the glass of water to the left of the money. Place the candle to the right. You have just created a triad: the conductor, water; the transformer, fire; and the subject, money. Sit before this arrangement. Light the candle. As the flame catches, visualize it burning away any scarcity mindset you have held onto. Watch the fire for a full minute. Let your breathing settle. Now, look at the money. Do not look at it with greed or desperation. Look at it with appreciation. See it as a seed. A single acorn contains the blueprint for a whole forest of oaks. That single dollar contains the blueprint for millions more. It is not about the amount. It is about the DNA of the wealth it represents. Now, the water. This is the crucial step. Hold the glass in both hands. I want you to project your intention into the water. Close your eyes and visualize the water glowing with a golden light. Imagine the feeling of your debts being paid, your bank account overflowing, your life easy and free. Push that emotion into the glass. You are literally charging the water with the frequency of wealth. Hold it there for at least 60 seconds. The water is absorbing this information. Then you drink it. This sounds simple, but the implications are profound. You are physically ingesting your intention. You are putting the vibration of abundance inside your cells. You are becoming one with your desire. The water, now carrying the structure of wealth, enters your bloodstream and circulates to your heart, your brain, your muscles. You are no longer separate from what you want. It is running through your veins. This shocks the system awake. It breaks the pattern of separation. Do not underestimate the power of ritual. Rituals are the way we tell the time to stop. In a world of constant noise and rushing, a ritual creates a pause where magic can enter. By doing this, you are stepping out of chronos, clock time, and into kairos, opportune time. You are seizing the moment. However, the arrangement of objects is only the body of the ritual. The soul of the ritual is the word. What you speak over these objects determines their power. Sound is vibration, and vibration creates form. In the Bible it says, "In the beginning was the word." It does not say, "In the beginning was the thought." You must give voice to your intent. But most people speak weak, wavering words. They say, "I hope I get money," or "Please help me." These are weak signals. They dissipate before they even leave the room. You need a command. A command is not a request, it is a statement of truth. When a king or a queen speaks, they do not ask if it is okay, they declare it so. You are the sovereign of your life. You must learn to speak with the authority of the soul, not the timidity of the ego. The specific words you use act as a combination lock. If you get the numbers right, the safe opens. If you are one digit off, it remains locked tight. There is a specific ancient phrasing, a sequence of words that acts as an open sesame for this kind of energy work. It has been used in various forms by secret societies and mystery schools for generations. It is not a spell, it is a resonance key. It aligns your voice with the frequency of creation. I'm going to teach you this phrasing in the next section, but I must warn you, do not speak it unless you are ready for things to change rapidly. When you align the water, the fire, the seed, and the word, you are pressing the accelerator to the floor. Events will move. Opportunities will knock, sometimes loudly. People who are not on your frequency may suddenly leave your life. New allies will appear. The stagnant waters of your life will begin to churn. Are you prepared for the speed? Are you ready to let go of the comfort of your complaints? Because once you speak these words over your anchors, you cannot unring the bell. The process begins, and it demands your participation. You cannot hide in the shadows once you have lit the beacon. The universe is listening. The water is waiting to be charged. The flame is waiting to be lit. But the voice must be yours, and it must be steady. Silence is the canvas, but sound is the paint. When you sit before your three anchors, the water, the flame, and the seed, you have set the stage. The actors are in place, but the play does not begin until someone speaks. This brings us to the most critical component of the quantum ritual, the command. Most people pray with a tone of begging. They whimper to the universe, hoping something out there takes pity on them. This approach reinforces the very state of lack they are trying to escape. A beggar implies a master who holds the resources. A creator implies that the resources are already within reach, waiting to be molded. Sound is not merely an auditory experience, it is a physical force. In physics, we know that sound waves can levitate objects, shatter glass, and rearrange matter. There is a field of study called cymatics, where sound frequencies are played into sand or water. As the tone changes, the chaotic particles suddenly snap into beautiful geometric patterns. Your life is currently like that pile of sand, scattered, perhaps a bit chaotic. The command is the specific frequency that snaps your reality into a coherent, geometric structure of abundance. You are going to speak to the water, you are going to speak to the flame, but mostly you are going to speak to your own cellular structure. The vibration of your voice resonates in your skull, stimulates your vagus nerve, and sends a ripple effect through your entire nervous system. You are overriding the old programming with a new sonic code. Here is the command. You do not need to memorize it, but you must feel it. Read it slowly with a dropped voice, meaning speak from your chest, not your nose. A high-pitched, anxious voice signals fear. A deep, resonant voice signals authority. Say this: I acknowledge the abundance that is my natural state. I hereby cancel all silent agreements I have made with scarcity, whether conscious or unconscious. I am no longer available for lack. I am the open door through which wealth enters. I bless this seed and I drink this truth as I speak, so it is constructed. Let's break this down so you understand exactly what you are encoding. When you say, I cancel all silent agreements, you are addressing a very deep spiritual truth. Many of us have unconsciously signed contracts with poverty. Maybe you saw your parents fight over money, and as a child you vowed, I never want money to be the cause of pain. That innocent vow became a contract. No money, no pain. You have been fulfilling that contract your whole life. By speaking this command, you are legally tearing up that old contract in the spiritual court. You are declaring that you can have money without the pain. When you say, I am no longer available for lack, you are setting a boundary. Boundaries are magnetic. When you refuse to tolerate disrespect, you attract respect. When you refuse to tolerate poverty, you attract wealth. It is a firm stance. You are telling the universe that the option of being broke is off the table. It is no longer on the menu of your life experiences. After you speak these words, you drink the water. As the liquid moves down your throat, visualize that command washing over every organ. It is done, the ritual is complete. But what happens next is where the real work begins. The moment you complete this ritual, you have shifted the trajectory of your 2026. You have placed an order with the cosmic kitchen. But unlike a restaurant, where you just sit and wait, this kitchen requires you to set the table. You must act in accordance with the order you just placed. This is where most people stumble. They do the ritual, feel high on the energy, and then 10 minutes later they open a bill and say, oh no, I'm broke. Instantly, they have cancelled the order. You must maintain the state of the wish fulfilled. This does not mean you spend money you don't have. It means you maintain the attitude of someone who knows the solution is on the way. When the bill comes, instead of panic, you feel a quiet confidence. This is temporary. The resources to cover this are manifesting right now. You handle your responsibilities, but you do not let them crush your spirit. You keep your internal radio tuned to the station of wealth, even when the static tries to break in. There is a phenomenon you need to be aware of called chemical withdrawal. Your body is addicted to the chemicals of stress. You have been feeding it cortisol and adrenaline for years. When you stop worrying, when you actually start trusting this process, your body might panic. It is not used to peace. It is not used to trust. You might feel a sudden urge to find something to worry about, just to get that familiar fix of anxiety. Recognize this for what it is. It is not intuition telling you something is wrong. It is your addiction to struggle dying. Let it die. In the days following this ritual, pay close attention to your ideas. Abundance rarely falls through the roof as a bag of cash. It usually arrives as an idea. A sudden thought to call an old friend, an impulse to take a different route to work, a flash of inspiration for a side project. These are the breadcrumbs of the universe. The ritual clears the fog so you can see the breadcrumbs, but you still have to pick them up. If you ignore these nudges, you are ignoring the money. The universe is whispering the coordinates of your treasure to you. If you say, I'll do it later, or that's silly, you are hanging up the phone. This month, trust your impulses. If something feels light and exciting, follow it. That is the frequency of the solution. You might also notice that your environment begins to shift. This can be unsettling. When you raise your vibration, anything vibrating at a lower frequency can no longer exist in your space. This might mean an appliance breaks, or a client drops you, or a friend stops calling. Do not panic. Do not look at this as bad luck. It is the vacuum law in action. The universe is clearing out the old energetic furniture to make room for the new. If you chase after the things that are leaving, you are telling the universe, no, I prefer the old clutter. Let it go. Bless it as it leaves. It served its purpose. We are building a new architecture for your life. The foundation is laid, the walls are going up. But there is a secret ingredient that binds it all together, a subtle energy that acts as the mortar for these bricks. Without it, the structure is fragile. It is an element that most law of attraction teachers miss entirely because it feels counterintuitive. They tell you to want it, to visualize it, to claim it, but they forget to tell you how to detach from it. Attachment creates resistance. If you are gripping the steering wheel too tightly, you cannot turn the car smoothly. You have to hold the desire, but with an open hand, not a clenched fist. This balance between intense intention and total surrender is the master skill. In the next section, I'm going to explain exactly how to master this art of detachment. I will show you how to care deeply about the result, while simultaneously not needing it to be happy. This paradox is the gateway to instant materialization. When you no longer need it to survive emotionally, it rushes to you physically. It is a cosmic joke, but it is one you can learn to laugh with instead of being the punchline. Whatever you do, do not close your heart now. You have started the engine. The car is humming. Now we need to learn how to drive it without crashing into the walls of your own desperation. You have lit the candle, you have charged the water, and you have spoken the command. The signal has been sent. Now comes the hardest part of the entire process, the phase where 90% of people ruin their own work. It is the phase of detachment. You must understand that in the realm of energy, neediness is a repellent. It acts like a stiff wind, pushing away the very thing you are trying to pull toward you. Think of it like trying to hold water in your hands. If you cup your hands gently, the water stays. If you squeeze your fist tight to capture the water, it all squirts out through your fingers. You are left with nothing but wet knuckles and frustration. Desperation has a specific frequency. It screams, "I do not believe this is coming." When you constantly check your bank account, obsess over when the money will arrive, or worry about how it will happen, you are canceling your own order. You are like a person who plants a seed in the ground and then digs it up every hour to see if it has roots. By digging it up, you kill it. You must have the discipline to leave the seed in the dark. You must trust the soil. This is the great paradox of creation. To get what you want, you must be okay with not having it yet. You must reach a place of emotional neutrality. This does not mean you don't care. It means you are not dependent on the outcome for your peace of mind. You are happy right now with or without the extra zeros in your account. When you achieve this state, you become magnetic. Money, love, and opportunity are attracted to confidence and ease. They run away from anxiety and grasping. Imagine you are at a restaurant. You order your favorite meal. The waiter takes your order and walks to the kitchen. Do you sit at the table shaking with fear, wondering if the chef ran away? Do you run into the kitchen every 2 minutes to scream, "Is my food coming?" No. You sit back, you drink your water, you talk to your friends. You know the food is coming. You don't hope, you know. That knowing allows you to relax. You are simply waiting for the delivery. That is the exact energy you need to carry regarding your 2026 abundance. The order is in. The kitchen of the universe is cooking. Sit down and relax. But I know this is easier said than done. Your mind is addicted to control. It wants to know how. How will the money come? Will it be a lottery win, a raise, a refund? The how is not your business. The how is the domain of the universe. Your business is the what and the why. When you try to micromanage the how, you limit the possibilities. You might be thinking the money can only come from your job, but the universe might have a plan to bring it through an inheritance, a gift, or an investment idea you haven't had yet. By obsessing over the channel, you block the other doors. Here is a practical way to handle the anxiety of waiting. Whenever you feel that tightness in your chest, that urge to worry, I want you to flip the script. Most people play the what-if game with negative outcomes. What if I can't pay rent? What if I fail? I want you to play the what-if game with positive outcomes. Ask yourself, what if it turns out better than I can imagine? What if the solution is already here and I just haven't seen it yet? What if I am being protected? This slight shift in questioning forces your brain to search for evidence of good instead of evidence of disaster. It redirects your neural pathways. It takes the energy of worry, which is high-octane creative fuel, and funnels it into construction rather than destruction. Worry and prayer are the same thing, focused visualization. One creates hell, The other creates heaven. You choose how to use the fuel. During this period of detachment, you must also be vigilant about your environment. There is an old saying, "Loose lips sink ships." Do not go around telling everyone about your ritual. Do not tell your skeptical friends that you are activating quantum abundance. They will laugh, they will doubt, and their doubt acts like a virus. It will infect your field. Keep your magic secret. It is a sacred incubation period. The seed grows best in the dark, away from prying eyes. Only share your vision with those who are on the same frequency, or keep it between you and the Creator. You might find that during this week, old tests resurface. A sudden expense pops up. A person from the past tries to trigger you. Do not react in the old way. These are not signs of failure. They are the final exam. The universe is checking. Are you really changed? Or are you just pretending? If you react with the old panic, you fail the test and you have to repeat the grade. If you look at the problem with a steady gaze and say, "This is small, I am bigger than this," you pass. The obstacle dissolves, and the reward is released. There is a concept in aviation called the point of no return. It is the moment when a plane has used too much fuel to turn back. It must continue to its destination. You have passed that point. You cannot go back to being the sleeper you were in 2025. You know too much now, you have felt the shift. To turn back now would be to betray your own soul. So you must go forward through the clouds of doubt, trusting that the runway is there, even if you cannot see it through the fog. As you practice this detachment, you will begin to notice a change in your internal atmosphere. The desperation will be replaced by a quiet excitement. It is the feeling of a child on Christmas Eve. They don't see the presents yet, but they know the morning is coming. This excitement is the highest frequency of faith. It is the vibration that bridges the gap between the quantum and the physical. Be careful not to fall into the trap of bargaining. "Oh God, if you give me this money, I promise I will be good. I will donate half." This is not a business transaction with a deity. You are not buying a favor. You are aligning with a law. Gravity does not care if you are good. It works because it is a law. Abundance is the same. It is a mechanic of the field. You deserve it not because you are a saint, but because you exist. Your existence is the only qualification you need. Stop trying to earn what is already yours by birthright. The detachment phase clears the static on the line. Once the static is gone, communication becomes crystal clear. This is when the synchronicities start. This is when the coincidences that are mathematically impossible begin to happen. You think of someone, and they call. You need a specific amount of money, and an unexpected check for that exact amount arrives. These are not random. These are the pings of the radar confirming you are on the glide path. In the next section, I'm going to teach you how to decode these signs, because often the universe speaks in a language of symbols and numbers, and if you are looking for English, you will miss the message. You need to know how to read the road signs so you know you are on the right track. There is a specific language of the field that, once you learn it, turns your entire day into a conversation with the infinite. You are doing the work. You are holding the tension. You are keeping the faith. Now let's learn how to read the map that is unfolding beneath your feet. The universe is never silent. It is broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you feel like your prayers are hitting a ceiling and bouncing back, it is not because the line is dead. It is because you are trying to listen to a digital signal on an analog radio. Once you have performed the ritual and entered the phase of detachment, the feedback loop begins. This is the conversation. You spoke to the field, and now the field is speaking back. But it will not speak in English, Spanish, or French. It speaks in the language of event, symbol, and synchronicity. You must become literate in this language immediately. If you do not learn to read the signs, you will walk right past the open door you prayed for. The first sign that your ritual has taken root is often an increase in what looks like coincidence. You might be thinking about starting a business, and suddenly you see an ad for exactly that type of software. You might be worried about a health issue, and a stranger on the bus starts talking about a remedy that worked for them. These are not random accidents. These are winks from the architecture of reality. Pay close attention to numbers. Mathematics is the source code of the cosmos. When you start seeing repeating sequences, 1111, 222, 444, on clocks, license plates, or receipts, do not brush it off. These are status updates. Think of them like the progress bar on a computer download. Seeing 1111 is often a confirmation of alignment, a signal that your thoughts are currently loading into the physical realm rapidly. It is a reminder to watch your mental diet. Seeing 555 usually signals change, a restructuring of the landscape. It means the furniture is being moved. However, there is a nuance here that traps many seekers. They become sign addicts. They become paralyzed, refusing to make a move until they see a feather or a coin. This is fear masquerading as spirituality. The signs are there to confirm your direction, not to drive the car for you. You are still the driver. You must move. You cannot steer a parked car. The universe requires momentum to work with. If you sit on your couch waiting for a burning bush, you will be waiting a long time. But if you take one small step, the universe will rush to meet you. Another profound way the field communicates is through resistance. This is the most misunderstood sign of all. We are taught that if it is meant to be, it will be easy. That is a half-truth. Sometimes when you ask for a big leap in income or life quality, the first thing that happens is a total breakdown. Your car dies. Your landlord raises the rent. Your hours get cut. You think, the ritual failed, I'm being punished. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. If you ask to build a skyscraper on a lot currently occupied by a shack, what is the first thing the construction crew must do? They must demolish the shack. It looks like destruction. It looks like a mess. There is dust and noise, but it is actually the first stage of construction. The breakdown is the breakthrough in disguise. When things start to crumble shortly after you set a powerful intention, do not despair. Celebrate. It means the demolition crew has arrived to clear the way for your palace. Stand in the rubble and smile, because you know what is coming next. You will also notice a shift in your dream state. The subconscious mind processes the command while the conscious mind sleeps. You might have vivid, intense dreams. You might dream of water, of flying, or of finding hidden rooms in a house. These are classic symbols of expansion. Finding a new room in a house usually symbolizes discovering a new potential or talent within yourself that can lead to wealth. Pay attention to the feeling you have when you wake up. Even if you cannot remember the details, the emotional residue tells you everything. If you wake up feeling energized and hopeful, the integration is working. There is a biological component to this seeing as well. It is called the reticular activating system, RAS. It is a bundle of nerves at your brainstem that filters out unnecessary information so you don't go crazy. If you decided to buy a red Tesla, suddenly you would see red Teslas everywhere. They were always there, but your RAS was filtering them out. By doing the ritual, you reprogrammed your RAS to look for opportunity and abundance. You will physically see things you were blind to last week. A help wanted sign, a contest, an investment opportunity. It will feel like magic, but it is actually neuroscience. You have changed your search filter. Be wary of the echoes of others. As you change, the people around you may react strangely. They are used to the old you, the broke you, the complaining you. When you stop singing the song of victimhood, they might get uncomfortable. They might try to pull you back down into the gossip and the misery. Did you hear how bad the economy is? They will say. This is a test. Do not engage. You do not need to correct them or preach to them. Just quietly refuse to accept that reality. You are living in a different economy now, the economy of the limitlessness. One specific sign to watch for is the rule of 3. If you hear a message 3 separate times from 3 separate sources in a short period, pay attention. Maybe you see a book title, then a friend mentions the author, then you hear a podcast about the same topic. That is the universe screaming at you. That is a directive. Follow it immediately. The window of opportunity is often timed. If you hesitate too long, the wave passes. But what if you hear nothing? What if the silence stretches on? That too is a message. It is the winter phase. A seed underground does not scream. It works in silence. If you feel like nothing is happening, it means the work is being done deep in the unseen realms, at the root level. Do not dig it up. Trust the silence. It is not empty. It is pregnant with possibility. As we approach the final movement of this protocol, you need to understand that you are building a reservoir. Every thought of trust, every act of gratitude, every ignored doubt adds water to this reservoir. Eventually, the dam will break. It has to. Pressure builds until release is inevitable. The breakthrough often comes at the moment you least expect it, usually when you have finally truly let go and distracted yourself with something else. You stop watching the pot, and suddenly it boils. You have the tools, you have the mindset, you have the signs. But there is one final seal required to lock this energy in for the entirety of 2026. Without this final seal, the energy can leak out over the coming months as life gets busy and you get distracted. You need a way to permanently anchor this new timeline so that it becomes your default setting, not just a temporary high. The final block will reveal the seal of the 7 days. It is the closing mechanism, the period at the end of the sentence. It ensures that what you have started does not fade away, but grows stronger with each passing week. It involves a simple daily practice for the first week after the ritual that cements the neural pathways. We are at the finish line. The heavy lifting is done. Now we must ensure the structure holds against the winds of the world. We have arrived at the final seal. The structure is built, the intention is set, and the signals are active. But any engineer will tell you that concrete takes time to cure. If you put weight on the foundation before it sets, cracks will appear. The seal of the 7 days is the curing process for your new reality. It is the bridge between a one-time ritual and a permanent lifestyle change. Without this, everything we have discussed risks becoming just another nice idea that fades by next Tuesday. We are not here for nice ideas. We are here for transformation. The number 7 is not arbitrary. It governs the cycles of life. There are 7 days in a week, 7 notes in a musical scale, 7 colors in the spectrum. It represents a complete cycle of creation. To lock in the frequency of abundance for 2026, you must consciously maintain the vibration for 7 consecutive days following your ritual. This creates a neural groove in your brain deep enough that the water of your thoughts naturally runs into it, rather than reverting to the old dry riverbeds of scarcity. Here is the protocol for the seal. It is deceptively simple, yet it demands consistency. For the next 7 days, you have 2 small assignments, one in the morning, one at night. In the morning, before you check your phone, before you let the world tell you who you are, go to a mirror. Look into your own eyes. This is uncomfortable for many, but you must do it. Connect with the being looking back at you. Speak this sentence aloud. I am the one who was promised. This statement bypasses the logical brain. It speaks to the ancient part of you that knows you are here for a reason. You are confirming that the waiting period is over. You are accepting your inheritance. Do this every morning for 7 days. It sets the tone. It puts the captain in the chair before the ship leaves the harbor. In the evening, right before you close your eyes, you must perform the audit of evidence. Your brain is naturally wired to scan for danger and problems. We are rewiring it to scan for blessings. You must find 3 pieces of evidence from your day that prove the universe is supporting you. They can be tiny. I found a great parking spot. The coffee tasted perfect. A friend sent a funny text. Write them down or speak them out. By doing this, you are building a case file. You are the lawyer for your own defense, proving to the jury of your mind that you are indeed abundant. If you do this for 7 days, by the end of the week, your brain will automatically start hunting for the good in every situation. You will have changed your default setting from problem solver to treasure hunter. Be warned, around day 3 or day 4, the old guard will try to stage a coup. You might wake up feeling heavy, cynical, or foolish. You might think, this is stupid, nothing is changing. Recognize this voice. It is the ego trying to drag you back to the safety of the known, even if the known is miserable. The ego prefers a familiar hell to an unfamiliar heaven. When this resistance hits, push through. It is the sign that the seal is tightening. Treat that voice like a toddler throwing a tantrum. Do not argue with it. Just continue the protocol. As you move through this year, understand that abundance is not just about the numbers in a bank account. That is the least interesting part of it. True abundance is the freedom to be who you are without apology. It is the ability to be generous without fear of running out. It is waking up with excitement instead of dread. When you activate this energy, you become a lighthouse for everyone around you. Your family, your community, your friends, they all benefit from your overflow. You are not doing this just for you. You are doing it to break the chain of lack for your lineage. The world is filled with people who are asleep at the wheel, drifting through life, reacting to whatever hits them. You have chosen to wake up. You have chosen to take the steering wheel. This comes with responsibility. You can no longer blame the economy, the government, or your upbringing. You have the tools to override those influences. You are the operant power. The pen is in your hand. Do not worry if the results do not look exactly how you pictured them. The universe is a better architect than you are. You might have asked for a stairwell, and the universe is trying to build you an elevator. Trust the delays. Trust the detours. They are often shortcuts in disguise. Keep your eyes on the feeling of the end result and let the details sort themselves out. You are standing on the precipice of the greatest year of your life. 2026 is not just a time, it is a space you are entering. A space where your thoughts create, your words build, and your actions seal the deal. The quantum ritual is the key, but you are the hand that turns it. Do not let the simplicity of this message fool you. The most powerful truths are always simple. Complexity is often a hiding place for confusion. What I have shared with you are the mechanics of creation stripped of the dogma. Use them, test them, prove them wrong if you can, but do not ignore them. As we close this transmission, I want you to feel the weight of the possibility in your hands. You are ready. You are worthy. You are supported. The angels, the energy, the quantum field, whatever name you give it, is rallying behind you right now. The wind is at your back. All you have to do is raise the sail, take a deep breath, release the tension in your shoulders. Smile, not because you see the gold yet, but because you know the map is accurate. The destination is inevitable. If this message resounded with you and your situation, write in the comments, "I accept my new reality." Share your experiences in the comments. If you liked this video, like and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring content. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.